we not talking about Dota? Great question, Cinderin.
Mm.
But Aster, they are the ones that where this game means a lot more than Entity. Entity may be able to go up the ranks a bit to get a little bit more prize pool, but they're out. They will not move on to the next group stage. Aster kind of hangs in the balance here. They pretty much have to win these two. I mean, it completely depends on the teams above them.
One win could technically be enough, but they have to minimum win one. Like, that's the absolute requirement.
If you win one, you have to have everybody else lose two, right?
No, you have to have... If you win one, you have to have TSM lose two, and everybody else lose one.
Well, when I said everybody else, I meant TSM. To them, that's their only target, I'm sure. Because there's a Gale, Siamese Cat, off the Astral Spirit. He's going to get
30 seconds
half HP here. That is a lot of damage.
He is still pretty fast, though. With that Wind Blaze plus Astral Spirit, he still manages to run away from a Gale that's only half duration. So, base 310 move speed. You put the Wind Blaze on top, and you put some move speed from the heroes, and you combat Gale pretty well. Other heroes there might have actually died.
I'd like to let you know that this is the last time I'll be saying something that's not related to this game. I like to hold that thought. Another Gale onto the Boca. Fade Bolt. Astral Spirit's there as well from Siamese Cat. He's kind of isolated here, but like you said, super, super fast, so he's going to be able to get out of dodge.
Pretty good damage here from Entity, though.
It looks like it's going to be a split of the runes. But I was inspired, Cinderin, from yesterday and the day before's games with Primal Beast getting the drums into Boots of Bearing. It's great. It's really great. I've been playing it. I'm a big fan. Love it a lot. Thanks, pros. I finally got something from the pros. I'm really happy about it.
Yeah, you were complaining about how pros were not building carry Pango forever.
Yes.
But building utility Pango?
Yes.
And even though it was great, you didn't take that build into your, what's the word, repertoire, because...
yeah, that's correct.
Because you weren't carrying with it, and therefore it wasn't fun.
Yeah, I just don't find it fun, but this Primal Beast build is very fun. See, the problem with Primal Beast is you have to buy BKB and literally nothing else, right? So being able to buy something else is just terrific. Anyway, back to the game. Get a thread about how we just don't...
if Monet would have hit that short-range raise, he might have actually killed Katomi, because that was a triple raise setup. But just barely missing it and not pursuing anymore. I think... Okay, Pichu's fine. I thought his spirit was running out, but he will get far enough away before it expires. The bot lane is... These lanes are kind of interesting, honestly. So, again, I think Invoker versus Dragon Knight, I think both heroes farm. Maybe slightly Invoker favored because of the Forge Spirit. And this top lane for Entity, I kind of like their chances in, especially on level 3 if they play well around the raises. Bot lane... Oh. Techie's Beastmaster?
It's an interesting one. I mean, you have the Boar Slow if he goes for that.
Yep.
And that'll help set up the sticky bombs, because that can be kind of hard to hit sometimes. But you are playing against a Jakiro who's... I mean, his turn rate has been improved, I guess, but I feel like that's maybe a good hero to go against if you're the Techies because of that.
Yeah, for sure. Fishman needs to be a little bit careful, because when Techies hits 2 and Beastmaster hits 3, they actually do have some pretty significant damage in a burst. So if you're like half HP on Jakiro, you probably just die at that point. Blast off Sticky Bomb and 2 sets of axes.
See if that's the case. Baboka's about to hit level 2 here. Mid lane, Stormstormer versus XWY, Dragon Knight versus the Invoker. And early on, it's a wash.
Yeah.
And I think this is just... I think you mentioned it earlier, that this lane probably will not be seeing any kills outside of some sort of a gank. Both very survivable.
It's interesting to see how XWY skills in this, because I feel like other Dragon Knight players might have got Dragon Tail here, but... So effectively what happens a lot of the time in Dragon Knight lanes is that you try to stun the enemy hero and then deny range creeps, but Invoker is obviously high range, and with Breathe Fire you have the added benefit of also hitting the Forge Spirit for the damage reduction. But if you have the Dragon Tail, in some situations you can literally just run at the Invoker and box him out and then run back and deny. Hasn't opted for that though, and he's still doing completely fine, so a little bit of a twist there. And he's even maxing Breathe Fire. He's going 2-0-2 build,
Huh, interesting.
I feel like that is more uncommon, because usually Dragon Knights will start getting value points and stun already, but he really wants to ensure CS, I'm assuming. Doesn't really have the mana for it, though. Like, the thing about this build that I think dissuades a lot of DKs from going for it is that Breathe Fire is a relatively expensive spell to just spam. He's going 2 bracers, no bottle, so at this point, it's like, he can't even use it.
Yeah, the no bottle is... I mean, do you think he will go bottle, or is it kind of too late almost? Because he already has gloves being queued up, so I assume that's going to be treads, or if he goes for Midas, would be a little bit surprising.
It's pretty common for mid DKs to not go bottle. So, I don't think he's going to. If he commits to
Soul
these
Ring or
pull-ups
anything
now,
like that? Okay. That would... Oh, he's doing just fine. Very survivable, like we said, so likely not to see anything here. Water runes are still... or the water rune's still available on the top. And in terms of the position ones in this game, Hawk on the Nature's Prophet is 22 and 12. That's a lot of denies. A lot of those probably the boars. Actually, you can't deny a boar. You can kill them, though. Perhaps some of the CSs from that, though.
you can deny your trance.
Yeah, but who cares
what
about
you were trying
denying
to
trans?
say.
They're not worth anything, though.
It's
Why I didn't
still,
mention
it's a little something. Everything adds up in Dota.
Not treants, they're useless. Ice Frog's ensured that that's the case.
I think the majority of these denies are actual creeps. Hawk is a very, very adept laner on this hero, so I think there's a good chance that, you know,
It's a
it's
full
also a pretty good lane for the
half-level-
Nature's Prophet, which is worth considering, right? Like, the enemy heroes don't have the best ways of ensuring last hits. They have axes, and that's pretty much it. So every time
Yeah,
axes
he
are
is
on
denying. He is actually denying his stupid train. Just had
Ad
to
padding?
show, huh? Yeah.
he's looking for team. So
You look at his stats and like, holy crap, this guy's amazing. He's looking for a team, by the way, in case anybody watching is interested. And he's very motivated now, which...
yeah, that's all me. Oh, hey.
Hey,
Go
Echo
for the
Sub
second
actually
raise to
hits
get the
two.
sleep.
His bottom tower
Oh, dodges
is
the
under
Gale.
attack.
Does
Could have been a
Monet.
kill. I think they committed for it.
It was not to be. At the Omi, has to be careful.
I think he's pump faking these raises a lot. He doesn't seem fully confident about whether he wants to do it or not.
What does look cool to do as well is Siamese Cat. He
I
lifted
think
out.
you're right. He's just doing it to look cool. He's looking for team.
He's motivated.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Now Baboka in the bot lane
Gonna
being chased
probably
by
have to TP out
Fishman.
here if he wants to live.
Yeah, there's no
And
ice
he
path.
will. No ice
He's
path.
fine. Yeah, and on the top lane, Monet, 33 and 7 in terms of the CS. I mean, you're talking about Nature's Prophet doing well, but actually XXS in the bot lane, he's leading the way in CS, so he's having himself a terrific game. I mean, the XP is going the way of the Hawk by a small margin, and I think that has probably a little bit to do with the Jakiro not being in lane all the time, is he's going to be able to TP out, so XXS will have this lane to himself for
I mean, also
just
the
a
18
moment.
denies, right?
Radiant's bottom tower
Obviously.
is under attack.
Will
Yeah, true.
push things slightly in his favor. The Hawk is back bottom. Good damage onto XXS. Will sidestep the Sprout though.
Oh, he's
Not
getting
get surrounded
blocked.
yet.
Oh,
If he finds this way, I think he just keeps running left.
we missed first blood, a very
Storm
important one. Yeah, the SF is dead, but they're still chasing XXS. Do they block it off? They do! XXS is dead. Gets off one last axes, but
They get 2
My
kills
goodness,
top, the
those
Sunstrike
were great.
kill, and then they chase down Pichu as well. Great start here for Enmity. Now, 2 of their lanes, especially mid lane, with that Sunstrike kill, Stormstormer will be pulling ahead. I do like this a lot from Aster. They're recognizing that Invoker doesn't kill Dragon Knight very well, so he's just going to keep shoving into this tower. He's got half of it so far, and that means Fishman will rotate over to help against the Dragon Knight as well as the Boca's techies.
oh my. Double
Monet
raise from Monet.
Almost got a double there on his own.
Yeah, that certainly helps him get back into
What
the
a
game.
boss.
Yeah, he's second net worth despite dying, so I think all things considered, Aster should be relatively happy with that exchange now. And he has this lane to himself, so just jungling, gets a Possessed Mask, always nice to get. Going for Mask of Madness next. And XWY
Is he
was
actually
able to get
getting
the tier
long?
1 mid to half HP.
He is.
What's that? Yeah, so it's going to be a
We were
physical
talking about
build.
the other day, I think I said it yesterday, that Sven is pretty much the only hero left in Dota that buys that item, but Shadow Fiend on occasion will get it actually. So, interesting. Wonder what prompts him to get it this game in particular, because I think the other games we've seen Monet play Shadow Fiend, he has not gone for it.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Obviously
feeling
very
it,
right
you
click
know?
heavy. I guess he has Beastmaster aura and ET aura. Maybe that plays into the equation here somehow.
No, not sure. Toby on the Venomancer. This is, I would assume this is going to be more of an aura build. Is that how it's typically the Venos are building these days?
Yeah.
Going for the mech, looks like.
I think this game is a very good candidate for Greaves' Pipe. I think it's just solid. There's so much magic damage in the enemy team. Dragon Knight, SF, Techies, even Beastmaster Axes, Earth Splitter. You're not going to go wrong with a pipe here. So
I feel like Aster is definitely going to need a pipe as well. And the
Yes.
question is who will be the
they would
candidate
want
for that.
one. Yeah, I don't know.
Beastmaster going for the
Yeah,
home.
who can even buy it? I mean, I guess you can buy it on Beastmaster after the Home of the Overlord, but you could also solve the problem with BKBs, right? On Stormer? Yeah, stunned up.
Mid-lane, Dragon Tail, but the Ice Wall is up, and actually the Cold Snap, no Sunstrike is going to hit, but the Sprout does as the TP in from the Nature's Prophet, and the lift, that's going to be a very big kill into XWY. Dragon Form is going to be down for a very long time as a result, and now the Tier 1 tower forded up, but surrounded by these very scary tree ants.
Is under attack.
And it looks like this Tier 1 tower is going to drop. No deny coming, so the Hawk
Has fallen.
getting credit for that one. Good rotation from him.
Yep. Pretty big win for him. They kill the Dragon Knight during Dragon form. They get the mid-tier 1 tower before the
Stormer.
DK does.
TP's bottom, he pops his drums, and now the Cold Snap applied to XXS, already at half HP. Gets off his roar, but the Ice Path was connected first.
Oh, too
Sunstrike
slow
is
on that
gonna miss,
Sunstrike.
though.
He wouldn't have died anyway.
Yeah, it's not the highest level Sunstrike. XS able to get out, but at the very least, the TP prevents this Tier 1 tower from taking any more damage, so it will remain for the time being.
Yep.
The Hawk working on Maelstrom right now.
Storm are going for the treads here. I think we mostly see him go travels, but he will go drums treads. So has a lot of attack speed right now, a lot of
Dire's top
fighting
tower
prowess. I
is
guess it
under attack.
lines up nicely with what his lineup wants to do. It's extremely brawly by nature. Entity's lineup really wants to non-stop fight now if it can. Every one of the heroes is very ready for the battle. That's when he's going to TP mid. This is going to be another fight here.
Dire's top
I'm not going to give up this tower.
XWY doesn't have Dragon Form for another 5 seconds, but they will lose their siege. So bad timing for them. And, I mean, Stormstormer, you're talking about his itemization. He's queuing up BKB and then Midas. We'll see if he continues down that road. That
I don't
would
think
be
he's
a
doing it in
very
that
late
order.
one.
I think he's just weighing his options here.
No, it's a 50-50. Seeing how the next couple minutes go. Pops another set of drums, already at 4 charges left.
Used a drum charge to hit the tower one time.
Very important.
Mad value, but they get the top tower in the meantime. Entity are putting a lot of pressure on the map right now. They took mid, they took top, they're taking bottom.
It was lifted, and that's all that happens. Very scary.
I wonder how many pro players, when they steal Shadow Rays, instantly know which one they got.
Yeah,
You only steal one of the ranges, and you need to know the icons by heart if you're not sure which one SF cast last. Kind of funny spell to steal in that regard. If you have legacy
pretty
keys, I guess you know which one it is every time.
Wait, when you steal a spell with legacy keys on Invoker, is it always a different
Oh wait, you're
hotkey?
right. It's probably still. I guess the stolen spell has a legacy key as well. Not.
Yeah, that's what I
that
would
make
figure.
sense.
Echo
Yeah,
Stomp
never mind.
onto Rubik. Monet, he's going to get lifted, but the Rubik will die eventually. It will be to the right-hand click of Monet.
Right hand click.
Yep, he hit it with his right hand.
Okay.
Radiant's
Shadow Fiend does use both hands
He
occasionally,
does.
of course.
But you were paying attention and he was attacking with the right hand.
No, I actually just said right hand, and I realized I said it, and I pretended that he definitely uses right hand, but I wasn't actually paying attention during that time. So thanks for bringing that up, as always, Cinderin.
Do you know if he's right-handed, Monet?
No, I have.
Because if he is right-handed, then technically everything he does with his hero is a right-hand click, except pressing the hotkeys of his keyboard. So
That's true. And it was his auto attack, so.
yeah, so you're probably in the clear there.
I mean, A click is left hand though on the keyboard. Baboka went into Stormstormer's Forge Spirits. As Aster sporting a 1k lead at the moment.
Yeah, pretty good for them considering they're down 2 towers. So just flat out
Yeah, that's true.
out CSing, which is also pretty evident. Shadowfiend 143.
Obi. I try to find XXS, but not able to
creep.
catch him. Obi makes his first transition to another lane.
He's the Dragon Knight gonna knock on the mid tower.
Radiant's middle tower
Got his
is
mech.
under
Yeah,
attack.
XWI doing massive damage here. But
Both will get away.
Techies, yeah, he's getting chased. He gets off the blast off.
At least
There's the
temporarily.
cold snap into the ice path, and that should be the death of the Techies. But Albert Titan with a beautiful ult onto it too. Surprising that hit. Fishman and Toby will have to back up as the tier 1 tower did end up going down. So Aster able to equalize the towers a bit. Do you think the Elder Titan could go pipe? I mean, it's a 5. It's
He's
like
not
a
gonna get it
Techie's
in
gonna fly
time.
That. The Techies is going mech.
Yeah.
Maybe Techies just gets pipe as well. I don't know.
I think Pipe is better than Mech this game. So
yeah, against the Venom for sure.
I definitely think they should be buying that. If they're buying one or the other, I agree. I would like to see the Pipe on Techies, but also got to keep in mind the value proposition, right? Like, Pipe is quite a bit more expensive than Mech. It's like twice. Mech is like 1800, Pipe's 35. So if you're not assuming that you're going to get it in time on either hero, then you're better off getting the Mech at least for that value. And I guess all 3 cores on Aster will eventually be buying BKBs in this game. You see Dragon Knight and SF already closing in on them.
But you're
These
missing the
stats are
most
getting the
important part
Overlord.
is when you get the pipe, it will mitigate the damage that you do to yourself from blast off.
True.
Pretty sure that works, right?
Yep.
It is magical, so.
That's why Techies has a 20% magic resist talent on level 10.
I actually forgot about that. Yeah. But do people actually take that? They must.
Don't think so.
They must. That's actually an insane talent if you think about it. Any other hero?
Yeah,
That's
a really
ridiculous.
good first row talent.
Wasn't that the level 25 talent from Muerto at first?
Something like that, yeah. That sounds about right.
That's insane. It's a level 10 talent. Gracious. Very even game here. Aster absolutely have to win at minimum 1, but they would love to come away with a 2-0. Give themselves the best chance.
And their read on the game is clearly Entity's lineup is insanely strong in fights right now, which I would agree with, so they're just dodging them. This is probably the lowest amount of kills we've cast in the game so far, minute 16. Total of 7. Aster just playing keep away. They're just farming, building toward their BKBs, and then they think they want to try to pull the trigger, perhaps. They're chilling.
Structures are fortified.
I think Entity, despite this fort, will likely give up this tier 1 tower bot, though, now that the Helm of the Overlord is online. Aster have themselves an ancient ice shaman to pound away at this tower. So that'll be a freebie.
Bottom tower is under attack.
And from the Hawk and company, they're gonna go for the old Roche.
Radiant's bottom tower.
Another drums popped. We did end up going Midas, by the way, so BKB will be next.
Astral Spirit will
Astral
stomp them
Spirit,
out of the pit.
yeah, it's coming. I don't know if they're close enough to contest. If they just continue, they would have gotten it, I think, but they obviously don't know this.
There,
There's the Echo Stomp, and I think, yeah, Aster just giving it up, just delaying, waiting for these very special items to come. One strike, and the Hawk takes the Aegis, and he's going to have his Aghanim Scepter in 50 gold.
Yeah, I think
That's very
Entity
good
with their
timing.
itemization are putting a lot of pressure on themselves to really get stuff done now. With Prophet going Ags, this is when you really want to find fights. You have all the key items. You have Ags on him, you have Mech on the Veno, you have Drums on Invoker like what
Oh
we talked
my.
about.
XWY, he thought he was going to get out with that blink, but the Hawk doing a
Nope.
nice job of positioning where he would be blinking.
What tower
What?
though?
Yeah,
Entity.
tier 2.
Not there. They're just gonna lose a full tier 2 for this.
Wow. 18-minute tier 2. So outpost control for
Radiant's
Aster.
bottom tower has fallen.
The question is if Aster can even defend their own, because I think Entity will be looking to force the trade here. But they're quite a ways away from the tower. They might be forced back to base first.
Dragon
Success
Knight
will make sure of
is
that.
up in 10 seconds, and he's got his ult, so they can definitely fight for Aster's side. Yeah, they force the Hawk back for now. The tier 2 top has literally not been touched yet, so Boca creating a defensive line in the trees. Drums popped again from Stormstormer with one right click. Make it 2, 3. Okay, he got a little bit extra value this time.
He got 4 hits and his Forge Spirits hit 1 extra time each.
And now he's out of drum charges, so Boots of Bearing, I'm sure, is what he's going to be going for at some point, but it's not going to be for a long time.
It's actually kind of important that he's somewhat thrown away his drums this game. I don't think they really got much value out of any of the 8 charges, so it's not ideal.
It's better than the old story that we tell all the time with Black, that in the
Never
80-minute game never used it and then sold it eventually.
Radiant's middle tower is under
Good
attack.
times. Dota games back then were actually the worst if you really think about it. So boring. XWY.
Unlike now where we have a whopping 8 kills minute 20.
I mean, this
Truly
is
a thriller on our hands here.
probably 3 times more kills than League. So this is a slow Dota game. But I mean, towers have been going down, so that's definitely something for that.
Are scanning.
And in all seriousness, though, Dota games can be very exciting with few kills. It can be interesting to watch if teams are playing the map very strategically. In this game, it's kind of just been trading a farm, so this one I don't think has been particularly... You know, it hasn't been like some crazy cool split push plays or map navigation, if you will, by Aster. They've kind of just played stable and avoided a lot of trouble. This one for me doesn't quite fall under that category, but I don't blame them. I think this is a well-played game from Aster so far, and that just coincides with not fighting a lot. They will lose Pichu here, get caught out in the jungle.
Just as you praise them, I mean, it is a position 5 only, but still, your power continues to grow.
It does.
So, yeah. Despite not having the Aegis, Aster's still looking pretty good. The Hawk is going for the Mjolnir. He's actually not that far away. So opting not to go for a Gleipnir this time around.
Oh, interesting item for Monet. He's running the Dagger of Ritztal. Because when you do play heavy right-click Shadow Fiend, that is actually a pretty solid item for your hero. Not EA quality, but still good. I'm sure he would love to trade any day of the week for the Brigand's Blade.
Oh yeah, everyone's favorite item. I mean, if he gets Shard, which I assume he'll get at some point, that, I mean, I guess that neutral item will be gone by then, but pretty good with
True,
Dagger.
it synergizes well with his Shard, yeah. That is a good point.
Shard used to be complete garbage, but now it fears, so quite good.
Yeah.
So he has a Hurricane Pipe, BKB, Mask of Madness, and is going for the Silver Edge. The break mechanic this game, not super helpful. Why not just... I mean, I guess he wants to Shadow Blade. That answers that question. But...
Yeah. It's a way for him to get into the fight. I do think there's a valid point about going Daedalus and just Swift Link instead, playing it that way. There's nothing to break. Literally nothing, right? Poison Sting.
Oh my goodness.
That's the only thing he can break.
No,
so.
Arcane Supremacy.
True, actually true. Can you break that?
Why not? It's a passive.
Yeah, not every passive is breakable. Because
like
if every passive was breakable, then it would be easy to learn Dota, so it doesn't work like that.
I mean, I know ultimate passives are not breakable, but I don't...
Are you sure none of them are? See what I mean?
I'm not going to say I'm sure, but I'm pretty confident that in the year 2023...
Can PA crit when she's broken?
That's an ultimate.
Yeah? I'm asking, can she crit when she's broken?
But can she?
I know Tiny doesn't lose Grow.
Yeah, Tiny definitely does. I'm going to say no, actually, even though it's an ulti. I don't think she can crit.
I don't know.
Yeah, I know you don't.
I just like asking you questions that I don't know
Well,
the answer
that's
to.
what I'm saying. Is the ultimates being broken is not consistent, but can you name one non-ultimate passive that is not breakable?
Oh, a non-ultimate passive that's not breakable.
Yeah. But Arcane Supremacy is not an ultimate.
You think that's... There are absolutely some. I just need to find it.
Plenty of time.
Does Hunter in the Night get broken?
I assume. I don't know.
I don't know.
I hate this conversation. XWY is going to run right into this smoke. Fishman's going to see him with the ward, but the blink away from XWY as he's rounding out his BKB, another 700 gold or so. Monet gets
Right.
the Shadow Blade. Actually, looks like Aster wants to fight.
Are going for an aggressive move for the first time, it feels like, in a long
Aegis
time.
is gone. They don't have to worry about that.
Kataomi's
They
spotted
run
by
into
Sentry.
Kataomi. Okay, we have the Wrath of Nature coming out. That's
Yeah.
the Aghanim Scepter, so stops them in their tracks.
I got excited for a second, but then nothing happened.
Yeah, we can go back to the passive breaking conversation, of course. I had nothing else to say, though, so it's on you. By the way, nobody is building pipe still, so it looks like that's just not in the cards for Aster. That's really shocking. A couple of heroes that I feel like it's just required to get it, and I think Veno is one of them.
Which item, sorry?
The pipe.
Yeah, I feel like... I really feel like pipe is just godly for both teams, but again, if you think about how the game is going, maybe it's going to be too late, right? The teams
Yeah, it
just
does
aren't
taper
fighting.
off.
So, with that in mind, maybe it's not that good. Like, maybe you go scaling items, you go for more of a late game focus, but Toby's going Crimson Guard, so that's kind of that argument out the window. But maybe he thinks there's more value in blocking out the damage of Beastmaster summons and of Shadow Fiend right clicks, and then they're gonna have BKBs anyway in his team, so then the pipe does very little during those, which is absolutely an argument.
Stormer still getting good value out of this Midas. Another Wrath of Nature. XXS, he gets stunned
BKB
up.
if you need.
He does, and he will pop it. The meteor was placed as well. Not a huge investment for an entity. Requiem being faked out from Monet. Now that they know the BKB is down from XXS, Entropy can regain control of this because likely Aster will not want to fight.
Radiant structures are fortified. Dire's top tower is under attack.
And what is Stormstormer making with this Void Stone? Is he? No, he's going to Refresher.
Probably Hex, I think.
Okay.
That's one of the issues that Entity are having, right? They don't really have the best catch. The problem is once he gets this Hex, he is playing against a Pike on Shadow Fiend and a Force Staff on the Techie, so it might still not be setting up things very well for them.
It is the Lincolns, actually. Okay, so for the Dragon Tail or
Oh,
Roar,
he's going Pipe on Techies. Did you say that? Maybe you said
I did not. Okay.
There it is. He feels like he's going to get rich enough.
Congratulations. Why not? He already is rich. He has a mech, Force Staff, and of course the Philosopher's Stone. Easy money. Uh-oh.
they
I mean,
missed
Cat's
the
going to
Sunstrike.
dodge the
So-
Sunstrike, and
Yeah.
he's actually going to be fine. They're going to try to turn this around. XWY pops the Dragon Tail onto Kataomi. That is a dead Rubik. No
Sleep
Arcane
actually hitting
Supremacy.
Stormstormer. Don't think they can chase, though.
Yeah, he's fine. Midas at the ready. Zero charges
Aster,
of drums still.
50% increase in kills there. Pretty big fight for them.
It's true. Very slow-paced game from them. But if we go back in time, this slow pace versus the old slow pace, this is way more action-packed. More interesting than it used to be.
What old slow pace are you referring to?
What do you mean? TI1? Anti-Mage Spectre?
Didn't
Farming?
TI1 have more than 10 kills minute 30 usually? I think it did.
Radiant are scanning.
It's not just about the kills, but a lot of
Oh,
the meta,
I see,
especially
okay.
even in the late stages of Dota 1, it was very farm, get the rapier, give it to your clinks, and win the game. Stormstormer forced to pop his BKB.
Oh, he bought Lincolns with his Void Stone.
Yep,
Okay,
I said
so
that. I know you weren't listening.
You said that?
Good test.
Stormstormer bought Lincolns.
That's right.
He bought it against Roar and Dragon Tail. What do you think?
Yep, I said the same thing. Yep, very good.
Me too.
That's why we're on the same
Oh,
page.
Proximity Mines. That's a good steal here for Katomi. covering some more ground potentially.
Yeah, that's
but
true.
he's walking into a ward.
The annoying thing is,
further.
for Aster, it looks the same as the other Techie's mines. They're not green.
Dire's
Make
top
that.
tower is under attack.
Really. Of course, they do damage to your team, so that's a good way to know. Roche was tickled a bit. This is the second Roche, believe it or not. And smoke from Aster. They have everything at their ready. The BKB still not up for Stormstorm from the 42nd, so we'll see if Entity actually want to fight or not. There's some D-ward action from the ancient Granite Golem coming to play. Silver Edge completed on Monet. Have, I believe, yeah, double blink now from Aster, both on the Beastmaster and XWY's DK. And they're actually going to go for the Roche themselves, which are already at half HP, knowing that Stormstorm's BKB is still on cooldown for 15 seconds, but he can try to do some damage from the other side of the pit. Tornado actually connects onto 3 heroes. Oh, but he misses the Deafening Blast and the Meteor itself. That is truly unfortunate. But his BKB will be available now. BKB from Monet, he's going to get the Requiem up. Able to get the Aegis and the Shard, and away Aster go with a big win there. And the Roar expended onto the Hawk. Titan ult as well will decimate him, so 70 seconds of No Nature's Prophet and XWY. At half HP getting rooted. Will be forced after safety.
Nice
The
NATO.
TP is cancelled by the NATO. Looks like XWY is still going to be fine. Picking away ever so slowly. They get a nice stun onto Monet.
Dire's top
Now he's at half
tower is
HP,
under
but still with the Aegis, Silver Edge. Aster likely will try.
Oh, good Sunstrike!
Sunstrike! That's a nice one. And that means Aegis goes bye-bye. So Aster...
Overall, clear
Yeah,
win
they
for
still
Aster.
come
They kill
out.
the enemy carry, they kill Roche. While they do lose their Aegis, they are still building like a 4K out of that fight, roughly.
After all that, Kataomi still gets his regen canceled. Very hilarious turn of events.
Unfortunate.
5k lead for Aster, and feels like they are a bit in the driver's seat. I feel like they've been just dictating the pace of this game, and they've been just playing extremely well, despite it being so slow paced, but that's kind of the point.
Yeah, they've
Ever
done a
since
good job
Stormstormer
not
ran
getting
out of
caught,
the-
essentially, right? Like, that's the biggest thing. They're taking advantage of techies and Beastmaster giving all this vision, and they're just using that to avoid
Toby.
issues. Toby.
He is toast.
Good disarm.
He's dead, Cinder. Oh
He's
my
fine.
god, he's forced staff. Got saved from Rubik as well. The shard coming into play. Toby is fine, as expected. He gets stunned. He's dead.
Damn.
I told you.
I knew he
it.
was dead the whole time. Never doubted.
I knew it. So smart. Fishman getting pursued by the other dragon. This one without 2 heads. He pops the BKB to avoid the ice path. That will lead to a kill. Onto Fishman.
Did you mention that Baboka did go for the magic resist talent? I feel like most
I didn't.
pros don't, but in this game, I don't know for a fact, but in this game, the magic resist talent definitely is amazing, right? Like, we've already covered how much spell damage he's against, so... Baboka is actually deceptively mega tanky on techies this game. How much magic resist does he have? 48% magic damage reduction, on top of pipe, mech, and force. He's a tough kill.
He is.
So that it hasn't really come into play that much because he's mostly been using blast stuff for finishers rather than going in. At this point, I wouldn't mind seeing him buy a shard to set up his team as well. With Greaves, pipe, or staff, he can definitely get himself out of trouble after going in. But might not be necessary. They're finding the picks here and there with Dragon Knight and Razor, Beastmaster. They look the same. Don't question me. I don't know where that came from.
Cosmetics are just getting way
Oh,
out of hand.
subliminal because I need to shave, and I didn't do it today. Probably why.
Okay, good to know. Are you talking about your face or?
Yes.
Okay,
Thank you for your question.
We are sponsored by Manscaped, so just in case.
Well, not the
Checking in on
tournament.
you.
So.
True. Us individually.
Yeah, this is our podcast, by the way. Hello, everybody. Welcome to We Say Things About Aster and Entity, Episode 1.
Very
I bet you
interesting
actually
episode.
forgot. You forgot we were casting a game. Oh,
Oh, my bad. My bad.
that's okay.
Monet, he took apart his Mask of Madness, now has the Satanic, and going for Well, it could have been the butterfly, but instead it's going to be opting towards the arcane blink, actually, instead of swift blink. Also has the shard, which, by the way, can you activate? I don't think you can, but Dagger of Bristol, there's no way you can activate it while invis, right? Because you won't be able to punch out of this silver edge properly.
I'm pretty sure you break invisibility with Imbrew.
Yeah.
Not to be mistaken for In Bruges.
I was going to say. Is that actually the name?
Yeah.
Brew. Wow. I think you might have asked me that before on a trivia.
Probably. I think I didn't know back then, and I also didn't know today. So.
Yeah. You don't listen to yourself either.
I'll definitely have forgotten that again in 10 minutes.
Yeah, I already have. BK has the Aghanim Scepter and is level 18, so Black Dragon has been delivered.
Alright, Shan, but what's the passive quickening charm called?
Not this again, dude. Give me multiple choice. That would be more interesting than me just guessing. It doesn't have a name. How about that?
Incorrect. Cooldown reduction.
Damn it. I should have said that.
It's funny how sometimes Valve find these like obscure words that nobody even knows exist in English, and then
you have to look them up in the dictionary.
And then for this one, it's cooldown reduction. Right. Well, very cool.
I just ran out of words in the dictionary. Simple as that.
I guess so.
9k lead for Aster, and this is the third Blink Dagger now picked up for their side. Monet. Get it delivered very shortly. And look at this. Entity want to defend a tier 1 tower, but they're going to be spotted by the Astral Spirit, so that might just be the end of it.
May going to town here. He's so strong with his Satanic. Now he gets that dagger too, so has the possibility of blinking into... If they ever get a Titan Stomp, he can blink Requiem on it. Strong setup available.
A triple Meteor. Stormstormer showing off his shard. Has that sheep stick as well, so I ended up going for both items that we talked about. The Aster still continuing to just play at their own pace, very methodical. Hawk, he was pushing a bit, but not a whole lot of damage onto the tier 2 tower. And we haven't looked at his items in a while. Looks like it's going to be an AC.
Owner into AC, yep.
Well, he's had that for a while, but his farm, it feels like it's second in net worth, but I feel like he's had most of these items for a long time.
Yeah. He is splitting the farm quite fairly with the Invoker, though. But definitely not... We see other games with the Hawk Prophet where he's way higher on net worth than this, but it's just a natural outcome of how much space Stormstormer's taking as the Invoker. XWR with the Dragon form and
yeah, he's gonna go in right on top of Toby, but the lift gonna save him for the time being. Monet, his Requiem, doing a good amount of damage, and they get to take out 2 supports right off the bat. And now the focus is on Stormstormer. Has to pop his BKB, gets the Tornado off into a TP. He's good to go, but Toby can't say the same for himself. So in the end, they do find the initial target, and that's 3-0. Roche not going to be up. We won't know for another 50 seconds how long that's going to be, but map control in Aster's favor, gold
It seems
in Aster's
extremely difficult for Entity to navigate the map at this point. Like, they are always at the mercy of Hawks, wards, Techie's mines. If they ever get spotted, Dragon Knight can jump and then Shadow King follows through. And with Dragon Knight having this Ags as well, the attack angles aren't even the ones you would expect. Like XWY caught them by surprise coming from the river there with the blink. So, yeah, once again, I mean, this has been a really clean game from Aster. Slowly but steadily winning everywhere all the time. Like when's the last time Aster lost anything in this game? Feels like an eternity ago.
Yeah. It sure does. Definitely well played. And now they're farming up these tier 4 neutrals. May actually takes the aesthetics gap. Okay.
This seems to be coming meta to take aesthetics cap on the carry. We've seen that in multiple games now from multiple teams. Prioritizing that on the carry.
It's like having a baby Eon disc, kind of.
Yeah.
Right?
Pretty much.
The root is there, but Entity are 5-man smoking. XXS looking to potentially break this.
This is such a hard fight for them to take if they find Monet.
Yeah, Monet.
And they don't.
He links to the high ground, goes invis. They might find the Elder Titan, though. Definitely Blast is there, but The roar on top of Stormstorm is going to get saved by the Rubik for the time being, but XWY and everybody else starting to right-click him. He will go invis as the Hawk is now their target. He pops his BKB, and he's just stuck in no man land. Big Requiem coming out. That's the end of the Nature's Prophet. And the rest of Entity hiding in the trees. Not a good sign. Techies does not have the shard, surprisingly enough, so able to TP out is one member of Entity, but the rest will certainly die. So 4 for nothing, and Aster take almost no damage. Jesus.
Yeah, it's time to force some buybacks here for Aster. They push so fast that they could almost get megas before Entity respawn here. Invoker obviously is going to be a thorn in their side, but he also can't feel completely safe with the Dragon Knight. If his Linken's gets broken by anything, like Beastmaster could just blink force step him and they can blink Dragon Tail and he dies. So see if they try to set that up. Stormstorm playing at very high range here. Will be putting out some good balls.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
That's some nice pesties on him.
There goes range tracks. What? Power? Sorry. Razor.
Yep, range
There
tracks,
goes the range
Razor.
tracks.
That's one set.
No.
Into the mid lane they go. Like you said, everybody does have buyback from Entity. They can probably delay this for another 20 seconds, I would think. And Aster, they're going to be able to scout that Roche is up in 20 seconds. Of course, they don't know that, so they can't actually scout that. That was a very stupid thing to say. Just move on.
Yeah, I've given up on pointing things like that out. I just let them happen organically.
Yeah, that's good. How you treat like your grandpa or something. Just an old man just doing old man things.
Just another classic Shannon moment right there.
That's right. That is a compliment somehow.
Yep, you would. Rosh is up.
They're really trying to kill this Ice Shaman, and they will.
They got
250
it.
gold. That is a pretty big bounty. Now, Roche, available for the pickings. He has Aghanim Scepter.
They have to fight this on Entity. They have no choice.
They do. Toby, he's got his Poison Nova. No way to really get in there
There's
other
the
than
Wrath
the
of
Force
Nature
Stab. He's
before
going to
the
get
fight. They
slowed.
did hit Baboka.
The illusions of the dragon, but the dragon, the real one comes. He gets the dragon tail onto Toby. He's going to get forced to safety, but May again gets off a beautiful Requiem onto 3. The Hawk gets off his BKB. The physical damage is just too much. Gonna buy back to try to contest Roche, but again, very little damage even done to Aster, but
It's such a cool combo, right? If you hit any sort of Echo Stomp, you Arcane Blink Requiem, and the magic resistance reduction is still on them from the Astral Spirit, so Monet is just absolutely annihilating them with the opener. Fight was almost over before it even started.
yep.
Nice Hex.
XWY on the low ground, and that is a dead Rubik. We'll buy back into the game though, along with the Nature's Prophet. So Aster resetting with a 24k lead. Entity need to find something.
They can't even kill a single hero.
Roche is
They're just
low
getting
though.
kited.
Maybe they'll scout it and just try to steal it, but this is an Elder Titan on the side of Aster. You gotta be really careful.
Nice
of course, no
Prophet ult.
BKBs at all. That's gonna
No,
hold him in
he
place for the time being, but he
slept.
gets... And that is
Oh
it.
my
Monet jumps
goodness.
in, gets the Roche, gets the Aegis, and this is going to be a dive from the Hawk. Oh, he actually took the G, so stays alive a little bit longer. Doing a lot of damage, but Monet pops a Satanic of his own. There's the Dragon Tail. The Hawk is dead. Looks like the Dragon Knight will fall, though. Monet getting kited. Toby with the Poison Nova as well. On strike. Okay, that's the Aegis. Buybacks from Aster. It's only the techies to come try and help. As Monet able to blink to safety.
For now.
And we'll
Actually,
Silver
it's
Edge.
BKB.
And he's
This
fine.
is fightable if they catch a roar.
His
on
Requiem in 5 seconds as well, somehow.
Yeah.
Dire's bottom tower
Probably the
is
Arcane
under
Blink coming in,
attack.
correct? Oh, he doesn't do that anymore. That's right. Oh, it does.
Correct.
No, it's mana cost
It
reduction.
does not.
It's too OP. It's for the best.
It's a little bit more of that grandpa. Back in my day, my Arcane Blink used to reduce cooldown.
Back in my day, there was no Arcane Blink. You remember that?
Dire's bottom tower is under
Kids, when I grew up, couriers could ward.
You remember when couriers could
Probably the
use
single
Dagon?
worst competitive patch in all of Dota history.
That was pretty bad.
652E.
Hey, no. There was a later patch in Dota 2. Was that in Dota 2? 6.52E?
No.
Yeah, there was a patch where you could use items on couriers. For a
Oh
little
yeah,
bit.
but that was not as bad as when couriers could ward. Because in that patch, couriers being able to use items, you had to have like level 25 or something, right? In 52E, couriers could ward from minute 0.
Yeah, that's cool. Let's definitely bring that back.
Yeah, and Smoke of Deceit didn't exist, as that was introduced in 666, I think. So-
666. That makes sense.
Yeah. Or 660, I think, actually. It was the single best item Dota ever made. I would say.
I'll take your
Smoke
word
of
for that
Deceit.
one. I mean, it's definitely up there. We already talked about the changes to Blink. I think that's the best change they made to an item ever.
The fact that you can't blink after taking damage, or the free mana?
Free mana.
Radiant
Oh, yeah.
are scanning.
No mana cost. Free mana would be pretty cool. Every time you blink, you just get mana.
Back in my day, we had free mana.
Now you have to pay for it. What is this?
Right, this cast has gone off the rails somehow.
I'm
25k
having
lead for
fun.
Aster. Yeah, me too. That's all that matters if we're having
Yeah. Oh, there's an audience?
Yeah. I do this for free. Don't tell anybody else.
Back in my day, we cast for free.
That's true. It was for the love of the game, you know?
Yeah.
Not trying to make a quick buck, because everybody knows casters are really rich. We make so
Loaded.
much money. Well, now that the Aegis is gone, Aghanim Scepter was consumed by Monet, I believe.
Yes.
And as a result, 13k net worth lead on him alone versus anybody else.
Yeah, it's insanely farm. My goodness.
Bottom lane,
600
XXS.
CS.
He's going to be able to get off the roar, but the BKB comes out from the Hawk. So he's going to mitigate a lot of this damage. Gets off his ult, but now the jump in from the Dragonite XWY.
Oh, that's a good
beautiful
blast
stun
off.
coming out from the techies, and that's going to lead to several kills. The Hawk, he's resigned to his death.
The Hawk, no
And that's a
bye-bye.
2-for-1. So finally, the shard was picked up by Tech. I mean, considering how rich he's been, this is a really late shard.
Yeah.
He,
Well, he picked
introduces
it up when it
quite
mattered
nicely.
the most.
Yeah, for
Because he
sure.
killed the carry with no buyback. And Aster know this. I feel like they should be able to go high ground here.
Not really
Maybe,
grouping up.
I mean, again, Invoker, Veno, and Crimson Guard, it's kind of hard. It's very annoying to push into. Like Monet wants to go Invoker hunting instead, potentially.
Summer's gonna back out after this creep.
Yeah, you would think so. Oh, he's sticking
Oh.
around.
Greed. Greed.
Oh, boy.
He
showed.
Shows the meatball.
He does not have a
Monet.
blink.
Pursuing. Oh.
Monet!
Oh.
Oh my god, the Hawk didn't find him, and Monet didn't find him.
Wow.
That was very close.
And back to the farming game. Aster.
If Monet sees him at any point, he can just hit him one time and break his TP with the fear. So,
Yeah,
he just
that
needed
is
a moment of vision there.
pretty powerful. Speaking of Monet, he is going for Refresher. I was going to ask what his final item would be. I guess he's not going to... Oh, I was going to say he's not going to place his treads, but he does with Boots of Travel.
Which travel, yeah?
Double damage.
Travel's level 2.
Oh, already level 2. Okay.
Yep. He does not have buyback as a result of that, but I guess he's not too worried about being caught off. They do have
Yeah, he's,
very good
very
map
fun.
control right now. It's a real risk, though, actually. Astra haven't seen Entity for quite a while, so they could technically be smoking at them right now, but not the case.
Yeah, they're mostly huddling in the base area, other than Stormstormer, who is pushing out top. Oh, XXS, he pops the Lincolns. That's an instant BKB and Ghost Walk.
No gem.
Oh, he puts down a ward to try to TP. Okay.
Oh.
He breaks his invis to put down a ward. It works out.
Monet
And this is the
again
kind of stuff that
close
you have
there.
to do to get back in the game. You got to take some risks because
Yeah, absolutely. I like how
you can't do
Stormstorm
it.
is playing. I think he recognizes the state the game is in, and he needs to do some YOLO stuff to try to get even small advantages going their way so they can even look for a fight. But Astar just pushing these waves very, very reliably.
Kobe picks up the last remaining Aghanim Scepter that has basically stayed the same since Dota 1. The
More or
very
less.
exciting cooldown reduction and extra damage. think Viper's Ags is the dive thing, right?
Yes.
So
I've what's it called? No
This is actually the last Ags
I
remaining.
think so, yeah.
Relic of an old age success. He might break this smoke. Oh, it's not a smoke. It's Stormstormer in this.
Oh, Toby.
Roar, Toby. He's. Oh my god. Yeah. The Arcane Blink really does speed up that Requiem.
Okay.
And he
There
bought
was a
out,
Venom
so
right there.
no buyback. You saw his Aghanim Scepter go to work there. Stats, basically.
Yep.
Stormstormer
Only had an
trying to push
Aeon
out
disc,
these
surely
lanes
he
more.
would have lived there.
He might have.
He actually might have, if there was backup Stormstormer.
Oh, did they?
Got hit.
The Stormcrafter saw him.
Yeah,
Or at least
and the
damaged
gem.
Stormstorm. Oh boy. Oh boy. Pops
Oh,
his
he didn't pop that
trying to get some
BKBs.
distance. The
Oh,
Lincoln was
the
popped, but he's
roar!
not in range to get the roar off. Monet continued to pursue.
You can
I
fear
think
him
Stormstormer's
here.
dead here.
Yeah,
And
he's
there's
dead.
the second roar. He actually popped his refresher to get the blink, I think, again. So it was the first roar. That is a big one. But he does have buyback. It looks like Aster are really playing this safe, and I think they are just waiting for this next Roche, which will be a very late one. 2 minutes, 45 seconds. Never mind the Hawk. He's dead.
I wonder how
Now,
much damage
surely
Monet
this
has
is
done
a
in this
push.
game. It feels like he's done a crap load of damage. Curious to see that once the game ends. No buyback
He's
Furion.
close to
looks
insta-give
like-
several targets, but
Radiant's bottom tower.
Like it's high ground time again for Aster.
yeah, XWY onto the high ground. Monet and Baboka will focus on bot. The buyback from Stormstormer, but that's all they're going to get. So it's a 3 versus 5. Gonna try to save the bot lane. Oh, XWY jumps in, gets the BKB. There's the roar. Force that for Stormstormer, make it 2. But the raises from Monet are enough, and that is a dieback. That's the GG to follow. And Aster able to get a much-needed Game 1 victory. And in very impressive fashion. I mean, we talked about it all game. Entity, they wanted, it looked like they wanted to push early. They wanted to